Now we've got to do the inferior angle of the scapula below that blade, the scapular blade or the scapula spine. My favorite is to use my finger open in a gorilla fist, using my forefinger as a guide on top of the superior angle of the scapula, and then using these 3 knuckles to actually go down and work these muscles just below the spine of the scapula. It's a really nice way, because my wrist is aligned. I'm not like this. I'm not like this. My wrist is aligned. So all I have to do is just lean in and relax. And it's not much at all. And in the Kung Fu, of course, I do wrist push-ups and knuckle push-ups just to strengthen this area. That's what helped me out too, is the workout routine I did was also very geared towards doing this kind of work. Now, if I want, I can also do a double gorilla fist as we did on the back. This fits nicely right in here. I'm using this spine of the scapula on the shoulder blade as my guide between going from both sides. And because my hands are locked, they naturally just want to glide down that one spot. For whatever reason, the body fits perfectly to their body. And I think that's something that all people of massage or body workers learn to do, which is learn how to make your bones fit the other person's bones. If you can do that, you're doing something interesting and good. Boy, that really gets down there. Starts to get into that lateral and medial delt and posterior deltoid. The upper shoulders. It's great. Now, there's a lot of contraindication. Look at that, how that blood flows. A lot of contraindication for kidney area, so we won't address that too much. But we'll just go right into doing the double gorilla fist. Could you use covered fingers? Sure. Covered reinforced fingers, covered reinforced thumb? Sure. I prefer the gorilla. It's just nice and simple in here. Gets everything, and because it's knuckles, it really does get into that tissue, and you can do lots and lots and lots of reps. There's nothing like getting a massage where you start getting into one area and you feel it, and as a student or as a receiver of massage, you'll get that, oh, they'll hit that one spot, and you're like, yeah, and then they'll go to another spot, and then they'll go to another spot, and then they'll go, just trying to feel around, I'll go to this spot, this spot, this spot, and then never really thoroughly work something. So this is more for those athletes and for the more logical, and you just want that thoroughness of everything, that shotgun overview of everything technique. This is not, I'm going to fix somebody by only working this muscle and that muscle and this muscle in a very particular way in order. And look at that, look at that, look at that, just coming up underneath that tissue, coming out that right in there a little bit, right down in that subscapularis, coming in there, the levator and the trapezius muscle right on that there. Oh yeah, look at that, look at that. That's just really nice. And that's really it for the whole formula to get everything from all up that spine of the groove, the triangle here, and that traps there. We started out overall moving everywhere. If you want to come over and work the side now and come back to a little bit more of the kidney area, to what we did in the beginning, to incorporate it. We're not going to do all that deep tissue work. The last thing I like to do too, one of the last couple techniques for you today. I love doing the panther fist. Again, it's not the first 2 knuckles that are dragging along the spine. It's these 3 knuckles. I'm using this as a guide to keep my knuckles away from the supraspinous process. Yeah, just like that. It's really nice. You can also turn them this way. It's another nice way to get in if you want to just change the angle of your own hands to keep your own hands a little more healthy. And I can switch that up if I like. If I feel any fatigue at all, I'll switch it up again. Feel any fatigue at all, switch it up again. So you've got lots of tools now The fingers, the thumbs. The fingers on the other hand, the thumbs, that's 4 different tools. The gorilla fist, that's 5. The panther fist, that's 6 different tools that you could use that constantly change and not work any of them out too much. And this is a lot of work. You can see I'm going pretty fast. There's 2 thumbs interlocked, 2 fingers interlaced. And I'm keeping that same sort of Russian sports massage style movement. You want to get into a little NMT here kind of stuff, where I use the thumb back and forth. This is also really nice to use in this area. I'm not doing this kind of work where I'm bent over trying to get in there with my body. I'm upright and I'm just sort of leaning in with my knuckles, and it's very deep work. So it's a great way to hit a lot of this. If you want to get into your detail work a little bit more intensely, where you're bending over a little bit at a time, but you're not spending a lot of time with your own body being compromised. So you can get a lot of work done very easy on your own body. All right, I think that's good for my basic back protocol, my simple flush that really works on doing that. The one more thing I would say would be is the opposite wrist. Since we've done a lot of like this and straight wrist and bent wrist in this direction, we're now going to do the opposite. Where I'm actually going to use the back of my wrist to work. It's the reverse effleurage. This bends the wrist in the opposite direction. Again, working full range of motion. It's not the most deepest or intense or specific work. This would be more of a good warm-up too as well, but it's a nice way to keep your own body healthy. This is more, I would say, about keeping yourself healthy when you have to revert, when you have to do this with the opposite bend. So you've done this kind of work, this kind of work, this kind of work. Now you're doing this. Full range of motion keeps joints healthy. Full range of motion. And of course, that's sort of the Tai Chi press, if you will, where the pisiform bones here, the pisiform bones here, the 2 little bumpy bones, they go opposite each other and they fit perfectly together between each other. That's what I'm using. And again, the principle is what's below is relaxed. What above is what's pressing. Great for the wrist. Not necessarily stupid deep for the person. But no, nonetheless, it's good work. And it really keeps your healthy wrists in all directions, fingers in all directions, and everything is opening. Okay? Thank you so much for your time. Please feel free to reach out if you have any questions or comments, and look forward to sharing more with you in the future. Thank you.